Yes.
I mean, I might not have a weapon allied, but my
Sure.
intellect is razor sharp.
Okay,
Wow.
so Nyaxi,
Well, you gotta do me dirty, dog.
Yeah.
roll me a luck die. Okay. Full nights after you last met with your Tremere friend, Kylie tells you that someone was scratching at her window. Last night. Very late.
Huh. I want to take a look at the window.
Okay. Give me a perception crafts roll.
So just perception.
Yep, at 7 since you don't have crafts. Okay. A secret roll. It looks like something has tried to force its way in at the latch, maybe with something like a knife or a screwdriver.
Huh, that's concerning.
Kraft said that if this was happening to Demi, he would be laughing.
Yeah. Huh, maybe I should call the police.
You could. Demi, why are you like this?
Huh, I mean, I will bring it to the attention of my wife, and
She called the police.
that's good.
Okay, they look it over. They tell you that you might want to get some bars on this window, just in case. But I mean, they're gonna keep a patrol car in the neighborhood, and just essentially let people know to just forward your call to that car, so there's a faster response time if something does happen, and to be careful.
Okay, I mean, I will see if I can get the window board up.
Okay. What do you do until that happens?
Huh.
Because it's probably gonna take like 2 or 3 days for them to get around to you, install it, etc. Because unless you can call in like a favor with someone who has appropriate skills, getting construction workers over there to weld in some metal bars is gonna take a smidgen of time.
Yeah, true. I mean, I can't stay up the entire night.
So you want to guard her?
I mean, yeah, she's the light of my life.
Okay.
My one and only kid.
A happy accident. on one of the desks in the lecture hall. Excuse me, I need to check out a discipline level. Okay, excellent, good to know. So, it's about midnight that night when you hear your cat just screaming at something downstairs. You know, in that angry cat kind of scream when it's about to attack.
Oh, that's
Uncharacteristic for this cat, yes.
yes.
What do you wish to do? The cat is sodomizing the sofa. Don't worry, my child. It's normal.
I break my wife and go tell her and go investigate it.
Okay, do you have a weapon in the house? Given that you have no firearms, you might have like a knife, but that's about it.
Sure, I mean, if I can get my hand on a knife, that's better than nothing.
I mean, I'm assuming since you're on guard and you're starting to feel like something weird might be going on, you had one from the kitchen by the bedside, just in case.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. You go downstairs. The cat seems to be looking at one of the corners of the room. It's fur up and just screaming at it.
Huh.
Doesn't seem to be anything there.
That's weird. I mean, I guess the cat's not stopping.
Nope. It seems to be slowing down a bit, but that's just because you see it just breathing heavily, gasping for breath before it starts screaming again. Just same corner the whole time.
I mean, is there something in the corner? Like,
Not
I
that
don't
you
know.
can see, there's like 3 books on a windowsill there, but that's about it.
That's really awkward. Oh, what should I do? See academic skills. Okay.
Time is passing, Nyaxi. What do you do?
I mean, I guess I take a. Huh. I mean, maybe the cat's hungry.
fell into its trap already.
Hey, do you want to try and feed the cat?
Yeah.
Okay. It does not stop screaming. It's slowing down. It's definitely running out of breath, but give me an intelligence occult roll at 6. Yeah, you have no idea. Unless you have an intelligence specialty that helps.
I mean, I have book knowledge.
I'll allow this to apply. Animals sometimes react violently in the presence of evil beings. According to myth.
Is it like a cat toy or something? Anywhere?
You go and find one. What do
I
you...
want to. I want to throw it into the corner.
You throw it into the corner. It clatters to the floor.
Oh, maybe it's a
The
ghost.
cat stops screaming and just gives you, "Are you fucking retarded?" look.
I mean, how late is it?
By now the cat has been screaming for a good 4 or 5 minutes. And it's closer to 1 a.m. than to midnight. The neighbors are probably gonna be complaining if he starts screaming again.
Yeah, I guess I will.
But you do have the knife, so you could solve the problem right now.
I mean, I will just take a closer look at the corner, I guess. Maybe there is something.
Okay, give me a perception alertness at 8. You poke around in there, see what you can find, partially by feel, partially by sight, partially by smell, and it looks like, it's looks like some sort of a grasses mated together with what is definitely fecal matter of some kind. Apparently there was something there at one.
Ew.
Demi's right. That is definitely what must have happened.
I mean, I guess I will clean it up.
Okay, you clean it up. What do you do after that?
It depends what's the cat doing.
He seems to slowly be calming down and giving you dirty looks. He seems mad. His tail is swishing back and forth. He kind of walks over, gives an angry swat at the cat toy, plops down on his ass, and just, goes into a huff. Kind of looks at you. Kind of like a, not your fault, but I hate you anyway, because you were involved.
I mean, I guess I will check the doors and windows before going back upstairs.
Okay. The front door appears to currently be unlocked.
It was locked before.
You remember locking it. You made double sure to lock it tonight.
I mean, I guess time to call the police again.
Okay, you call the police. They say that the patrol car will be there in like 5-10 minutes at most. What do you do after that?
Go back to my wife and inform her.
Okay. She asked you if you checked on Kylie.
Let's do that.
Okay. You both go to her room and you see an empty window. Or an empty bed. Windows open. Her book is gone from the bedside table. Room's empty.
I run outside.
Okay, your wife kind of just collapses in shock in the doorway. And you run outside. The patrol car is pulling up just now. The officers are getting out.
Yeah, I guess I will be screaming her name for a while.
Okay, the police officers kind of grab hold of you and try to get anything coherent out of you. One of them goes inside and draws his gun to check on what's happened, make sure there isn't an intruder in the house. The other one tries to, talk to you. They radio in for backup. Eventually, Amber Alert, a child has been taken. And yeah, there's now a police manhunt for your missing daughter. Eventually, they're gonna check the room and they're gonna discover something that will make you even more unhappy. It looks like there is a bit of blood on her sheets.
Oof.
Not old enough for that, and it's closer to the head.
It's on the pillow then.
It's on the pillow and on the sheets next to the pillow, so not a lot of it, but yeah, the way it's placed, it's not encouraging. Yes, Demi, that is what happened, and then she chased it out into the night to finish it off, clearly. Your wife isn't going to work that day, and I think the shop might not be opening either.
Yeah.
Then, a moment of silence for the kid. F's in chat for Kylie, everyone. Twitch chat
she's
as
not
well.
dead.
I mean, you say that, Keegan, but what are the chances she's okay?
Like, good?
Yes, exactly. So
I mean,
what
like
do you do
80%.
on the following days, Nyaxi?
Huh.
That or Malkavian Demi? Could be a gangrel. A city gangrel. If me a intelligence investigation roll, Nyaxi. At 7 because you're probably pretty distracted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm spending upon the full power.
Okay. Okay. And do you have anything to... Yes, you have book knowledge. So, sure. Given how much weird shit has been happening and what you figured out earlier and the way Wilburn has been talking to you, you start to think that there was this visitor, and you remember telling him that your daughter was an avid reader, and he seemed very impressed by that. And the book she was reading was taken along with her. It was like Moby Dick, let's say. Well, 9.
Yeah, she's 9, not 8.
And yeah, maybe that weird visitor wasn't all he appeared to be. And now he might have taken your kid.
Yeah, God. Huh.
I mean, Ally does have a point. The wife can still have more. You could fix this.
I mean, I could call Wilburn and ask for advice.
Unless he's involved somehow.
I mean, you said you didn't know the person.
But can you believe him? What should be rolled for mental stability? Wit's courage? Okay, yeah, willpower. Willpower for the wife. And apparently she's somehow holding on to some semblance of sanity. Good, good!
Should I also roll?
You can, sure. 8 as well then. Try not to botch.
It's not a botch.
Okay, so you fail. I'm gonna give you 2 options. You either shut down and kind of function in a daze, or alternatively, you block out everyday life anyway, but instead you throw yourself into trying to find anything and everything you can about what happened. You try to bother the police, you start conspiracy theories about creatures of the night, etc., 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 to try and make sense of it.
Yeah, I do the later one.
Okay. Okay. Give me an intelligence occult roll. Do you have a library rate? You do.
Yeah.
You can add this. And this is to make your conspiracy wall in Kylie's bedroom.
Okay, I'm spending upon the full power.
Okay.
Difficulty 6?
Yeah, difficulty is 6. This is gonna be of limited benefit in a way, but... So it's a question of how many success you get. Okay. Well. One of the things that definitely crops up is changelings. Changelings are supposed to be weird or fake creatures in general. They steal children and replace them with their own at times. And generally, they're weird fucks. but they do respect oaths, so maybe you could try and trade for your kid with the one that took her? If you could find something that he wanted enough?
Huh.
But yeah, folklore is full of things that take children, but I think fake creatures would scream out as the most likely fit, because this is kind of their MO. And you certainly didn't have horseshoes or cold iron around your house to ward them off. Or a saucer of milk to bribe them.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting all that now. Also, I will call Wilbur and ask him if he knows anything about fairies.
Okay, this is again in the evening, and there's just a stunned silence from the other end. What now?
My daughter was my daughter was taken away. I suspect it was a fairy.
Cursing which he is trying to keep quiet on the other end. Don't fucking go, Ed. Don't go anywhere. And, about 45 minutes later, Wilburn is gonna be there with 3 goons with rough iron knives, and she's just gonna march in. Okay. What the fuck happened?
I guess I report all my findings and everything.
Okay.
Show him my conspiracy theory wall.
Okay. He is gonna use intelligence occult to try and find holes in your theory. Okay. He points out one. The cat generally wouldn't have reacted that violently to fairies necessarily, at least not most of the time. So it might be something else. But myths do say that they fucking steal children. You are right about that, and this does seem... I mean, that's true, but fairies are often creatures of nature, so they might have powers over animals, or an affinity with them.
I mean, he has a point.
He puts a hand on your shoulder. Solomon, I'm gonna
Yes.
erase this memory later anyway, so I don't mind. Fairies are real, and they have been a pain in the dick in the city.
So it's true.
Some of it. You got this bit and this bit wrong, and most of them don't leave circles of mushrooms. That seems to have changed as the ages passed. But cold iron is definitely a thing, and they're still assholes.
I see.
Think you're going off of some outdated writings here.
What do I do? What do I do?
He just face palms. Oh, I think there are fake creatures that have affinity for the dead as well. It might have been stalking her. Maybe it's stalking the school. But why would it want to harvest children?
I mean, would I know anything? Any reason for that?
You can brainstorm together, but generally they abduct children and raise them as their own, and time sometimes passes weirdly in fairy realms, according to legends. So maybe it's building an army of like hybrids? Do you tell him any more details other than your conspiracy wall about fairies?
Yeah, I mean, I tell him about the thing, the cat that I found in the corner, like a dirt and the flood, and I guess that I suspect that one visitor to be a fairy.
Okay. Uh, the blood would have been taken, like the whole set of bedding would have been taken by the police as evidence. And they're gonna try and find the resources to put it through forensics if they can.
Yeah.
Wilburn is gonna attempt on the random shit that you have, he's gonna attempt to use Spirit's Touch at difficulty 9. Yeah, no, he can't pick up anything. He, in fact, is convinced that it has to be Fae. Some kind of a animal Fae. Maybe something known as a puka that can shapeshift. That is a good point. The bed wouldn't be a very strong imprint either, but yes, I will let him try. Once he thinks to do that though, he's just gonna stop. And essentially you just see him touching the bed and he's gone completely still. You don't even think he's breathing. Just resting fingers lightly on it. Silent. Do you say anything to him?
I mean, he didn't react to the cold iron, and he came with cold iron even.
Yes, he now has you carrying like a cold iron ankh around your neck, a coiled iron dagger, and he's brought you, like horseshoes to hang over every window on the inside.
I guess I'll ask him if he's psychic.
Gonna slowly rotate his head to you, and he's just gonna say, "I'm sorry, son. Daughter is.
No.
She died in this bed."
Can I roll willpower again?
Yes. This time at 9, cause you can refuse to accept it and cling to the hope of rescuing her from the fairies, because clearly that's a fake impression, or alternatively you can accept it and swear to have revenge on the fairies.
I swear eternal vengeance.
Yes.
Curse you, Boka! Wilburn is just gonna step closer to you, and it's like 2:30 in the night at this point. A hand on your shoulder, and how you. If you truly mean it, I can help you with that. I can give you the power to make these creatures pay.
Yes, then yeah, I would do anything for that.
Okay. He's gonna take you to the chantry. Welcome to Clattrum here. And well, let me look up the oath for the clan, because I think I should at the very least read it out to you, so you are refreshed on what's expected from you. It's like 15-20 lines. Demi, please. I think that's the wrong hard drive. Vampire. I think it should be in Lore of Clan.
It is in Lore of Clans, and it's not. It's log. It's an entire page.
There. Go. That's the code. Okay.
214.
214.
Okay.
Nexi, if you could open it and read it out after they bite and turn you, as they're giving you the cup, that would be great.
So just all of it?
Yes, because they make you swear all of it.
Okay, this might take a while. I, Solomon Roberts, hereby swear my everlasting loyalty to House and Clan Tremere and all its members. I am of their blood, and they are of mine. We share our lives, our goals, and our achievements. I shall obey those the House sees fit to name my superiors and treat my inferiors with all the respect and care they earn for themselves. I will not deprive nor attempt to deprive any member of House and Clan Tremere of his magical power. To do so would be to act against the strength of our house. I will not slay nor attempt to slay any member of the house and clan except in self-defense or when a Magus has been ruled outlaw by a properly constituted tribunal. If a Magus has been ruled an outlaw, I shall bend all efforts to bring such matters to justice. I will abide by all decisions of the tribunals and respectfully honor the wishes of the Inner Council of Seven and the wishes of my superiors. The tribunals shall be bound by the spirit of the Code of Tremere, as supplemented by the Peripheral Code and interpreted by a properly constituted body of Magi. I have the right to appeal a decision to a higher tribunal if they should agree to hear my case. I will not endanger House and Clan Tremere through my actions, nor will I interfere with the affairs of mundanes in any way that brings ruin upon my house and clan. I will not, when dealing with devils or others in any way, bring danger to the clan, nor will I disturb the fairies in any way that should cause them to take vengeance. Okay, this is tricky, but I think I can manage. I also swear to uphold the values and goals of the Camarilla, and I will maintain the Masquerade. Insofar as these goals may conflict with my goals, I will not pursue my own ends in any way that would endanger the Masquerade. The strength of the House and Clan Tremere depends on the strength of the Masquerade. I will not use magic to scry upon members of the House and Clan Tremere, nor shall I use it to peer into their affairs. It is expressly forbidden. I will not train only apprentices who will swear to this code. I will train only apprentice warriors where to his code, and should any of them turn against the house and clan, I shall be the first to strike them down and bring them to justice. No apprentice of mine shall be called matches until he first swears to uphold the code. I shall treat my apprentices with the care and respect that they earn. I concede to my elders the right to take my apprentice, should it be found that my apprentice is valuable to an elder's work. All are members of the house and clan and valuable first to these precepts. I shall abide by the right of my superiors to make such decisions. I shall further the knowledge of the house and clan and share with its members all that I find in my search for wisdom and power. No secrets are to be kept or given regarding the arts of magic, nor shall I keep secret the doings of others who might bring harm to the house and clan. I demand that, should I break this oath, I should be cast out of the house and clan. If I am cast out, I ask my brothers to find and slay me, that my life may not continue in degradation and infamy. I recognize that the enemies of the house and clan are my enemies, that the friends of the house and clan are my friends, and that the allies of the house and clan are my allies. Let us work as one and grow hale and strong. I hereby swear this oath on current date. Woe to they who try to tempt me to break this oath, and woe to me if I succumb to such temptation.
So, when you pursue your inevitable vengeance against the Fae, don't lead them back to the chantry.
Yeah, I will be careful.
Bravo, you are a apprentice of the first circle now.
Huzzah.
You also don't get to leave the chantry, or rather you're expected to sleep in the chantry each night. Or each
Okay,
morning.
that's-
Demi, they check. They had one such asshole in the past couple of months. They had to put him down for trying, so now they check.
Was he an illusionist?
He was actually. He thought he could get away with it, but everyone had Auspex on, so it didn't work.
Okay.
Someone noticed. Okay, and I think the wife needs to roll willpower at 9. Yeah, no. The wife is losing it. So,
Aren't you all?
Naxi, you are a Tremere of Generation 12. So, let's see. First off, your various attributes and skills. You get to boost social by 1. Where does that go?
Ah, that's a good question. Maybe manipulation.
Okay. What about mental?
Intelligence.
Okay. And you can... Well, and next we have knowledges. Well... If you wish, you can just bury yourself in the books for every bit of free time you have and just essentially be studying up on various things. And just put your occult up to 3. Because now you can filter out the lies from the truths and they fill in enough of the gaps too.
Yeah, I shall see through the lies of the Jedi.
Okay. And as far as skills go, you get 1 extra. There it's kind of up to you, but you can find someone to train you in knife fighting if you're gonna need to stab some bitch with cold iron.
Yeah, I should probably get at least 1 dot of melee.
And then we have talents. You have 2 points for those.
One in awareness, so I can sniff out the fairies.
Okay. Other where?
Intimidation.
Okay. That is good. You get a dot of Auspex, Dominate, and Thaumaturgy. And what would you like as your primary path?
Oof, that's a good question. Is there something against fairies?
Not specifically, but there would be rituals that would help.
Yeah, okay, let's see.
Path of Blood is pretty good later on. You could just boil them alive.
That's too late, though.
Movement of the mind could be useful, but or you could go for something like Lure of Flames. They're not gonna go too far out of their way because they don't have a lot of exotic paths. In the people they're willing to, assign necessarily, but you can get any of those three, I would say.
Movement of the mind, or Lure of Flames or Path of Blood.
Also, I think you will be adding a Vengeful Flaw versus Fairies to yourself.
Yeah. How many points is that?
That is 2, and you get another 6 for... Or rather, you get 6 total, because one goes into Gen, and the other 4 reserved ones you can put somewhere else. If you want, you can buy down the bad site, possibly. Or otherwise, given everything that's happened, I would say it's justified to up your willpower to total of 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna up my willpower to 5.
So that would leave you with 4 points to spend.
Yeah.
You could just power level empathy and awareness to try and get better at sensing magical energies. Like, you could buy 2 points of awareness, because I think at this point you're pretty obsessively working towards a goal. Just throwing
Yeah.
yourself into training. Or you could buy up courage, that also is true, if you wish.
I'm gonna buy 1 awareness and
Okay.
1 courage.
I will, since this is technically all part of an extended character generation and you're buying it with freebies, I think I will allow you to get the free willpower point from that courage as well.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it's the burning hatred that sustains you, right?
Yeah, I will take Lure of Flames so I can burn the fairies.
Okay, excellent. And you need to pick out a level 1 ritual.
Okay.
Wilburn recommends Communicate with Kindred Sire, but he will allow you to study Illuminate the Trail of Prey as well, if you prefer that one, for tracking people.
I mean, I kind of have to take Illuminate Trail of Prey.
Okay. Burning Blade is level 2. Ward against Fairies is 3. Okay, so you are in the Chantry studying. Which brings us to Jackalore. Jackalore, do you have everything arranged on your sheets? I don't think all of your stats have been filled in.
Nope, I haven't done anything with my stats yet.
Okay, then you have attributes to fill out because you got turned by the sheriff.
Yep. That's +1 to mental and +1 to social.
Yes.
I think I'll buy my wits up to 4, I think.
Okay.
And then I'll buy my manipulation up to 4.
Okay. And then you get 2 in knowledge, 2 in talents, and 1 in skills. Getting better at firearms might make sense, given that you learned a thing or two about using firearms in combat.
Yeah, I agree.
And other than that, well, your side probably gives you the basics of how to project your will through dominate, so if you wish you can go for the intimidation on those, otherwise pick whatever fits you, really.
I think I'll pick up Intimidation 1 and Subterfuge 3.
Okay, excellent. And in the knowledges,
How many did I get the knowledges? 2?
2 extra, yeah. I suggest one of those be spent on like the basics of occult, because she'll try to make
Yeah,
sure you know at least what the common disciplines can do.
Yeah, I was gonna buy a cult up with that.
Okay.
With the last, with one of them at least. Just considering what else I could do.
I'm gonna check how much occult she had. Oh yeah, she has occult 5. You can take occult to 2, and that just, since she's a mentor, she's a lot more willing than the others to spend a lot of time with you. So she's definitely willing to, give you that bit of extra knowledge.
Sure, I'll buy a cult up to 2.
And you already arranged your freebies, right?
Yes,
they
all my
went in.
feet are
Yeah, they
finished.
went into mentor and generation. I think that's good then. So we're gonna pick up when you are essentially when she gets in the car after putting you in the car while she talks to the Tremere, and you're ready to drive off.
Cool.
Actually gonna have the gold drive, and she's gonna sit in the back with you. So, how are you feeling?
Better than ever.
Yeah, a lot of people who end up dying in battle and coming back end up feeling that way. I think it's a pretty common reaction from what I've seen. It's the contrast of the pain from the wound suddenly being gone can really do a number on you.
Yeah, it does seem that way. So, what next?
Well, you're probably gonna want to move those people who came here. This is kind of their territory. And they wouldn't dare fuck with you, but you couldn't really hunt around here, so... Right. Okay. We're vampires. And, sunlight, fire is bad. Try not to get your head cut off either. Anything short of that or being fed into industrial grade machinery, you're generally gonna survive. You get hurt badly enough, you're gonna go dormant and eventually wake. So you're pretty indestructible as long as the head is intact, the heart is intact, and you're not, damaged by supernatural means or by fire and sunlight.
Sounds dangerous, but survivable.
Yeah, I mean, I might not look it, but well, a couple years back, I had my actually no, it's a habit a lot of people get into. I really, at this point, only count the years I've been a vampire, but I'm something like 130 some years old if you count the mortal ones.
That's longer than I know anyone has lived, so you must know a lot of things.
I've seen a few things, yes. Now, the prince is curious about you, and I think I will take you to see her because it will make things easier. But we're gonna do that a couple of nights from now when you have your feet under you. And I normally wouldn't do this, but I think you can handle it. And having actually met her face to face, it's a subtle thing, but it suggests that you matter. So it could be useful.
I like this plan.
Now, that being said, you are gonna need to learn how to acquire blood, but actually gonna look under like one of the seats. Open like a cold box. Right. Right, I forgot I used those. Gonna need to stop by some place to get some blood bags. I wouldn't want you to be too hungry when you're just learning. And she essentially is doing her best to give you the information you need. And, stop by a hospital, goes inside, yells at the Malkavian who fucked up so badly, gets some blood. And, couple nights from then, she will bring you to Elysium to meet the prince, the first of the group. And she tells you that she's smoothed it over, it's fine, no one's accusing you of anything, the prince just wants to get a feel for you, because apparently you were living right on top of werewolves, and that's weird.
I think that the living with werewolves would be weird too. I understand them.
So she escorts you through a room where there's a good dozen and a half vampires, and leads you to one of the upper floors, where eventually she leads you an office where another attractive young looking woman is waiting, just sitting behind desk shuffling through paperwork.
Oh, by the way, out of character, did I get willpower at the end of that last session?
Yes. Consider yourself at full. Why not?
Okay.
This is still like the prologue part.
Yeah, thanks.
She just kind of smiles and nods at your sire, and then turns to you. Her expression kind of, dispassionate, blank, waiting for you to proceed.
Do I know the proper slang? Like, do I know the words child and sire?
Uh, Carol would have taken like at least half an hour to drill the basics into you, about as much as you can, handle without getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, my prince. I'm the new child of Carol Gorman.
The scrolling.
Yeah, of Carol Gorman, Kirk Jacobs. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, good evening, Sir Jacobs. You may call me Miss Gabrielle. So, usually I would not make time for someone as young as you, unless there was a specific reason. But given the recent happenings, I'm curious as to your perspective of what happened at your house and the reasons. So I would be grateful if you could, preferably without wasting my time, lay out your point of view on the recent event.
Well, there was. It started off when this guy and two thugs tried to get into my house, and when I was going downstairs to see who was causing the ruckus, uh, they came up the stairs at the same time. I told my son to get my gun, and then when they pushed past me, the thugs pushed past me. They were turned into salad, and the remaining person ran away.
I see. I am. Yes, I am familiar what werewolf claws can do to a person. That is a very creative yet accurate way of describing the effect. Alright, what happened afterwards?
Well, I got worried about my daughter since apparently something about my the werewolf, my son, uh, made me blank out a little. So I forgot that my son was a werewolf. So when I went back upstairs, I went blank again and found myself sitting on the couch next to my wife, and with three other presumably werewolves in the room, other than my son.
So you were not aware of werewolves being them actually existing before this, if I understand this correctly.
Yes, I was unaware of their existence, as with all other
Do you believe
supernaturals.
your wife was aware of them beforehand?
I think she was. Yes.
I see. Well, that's impractical. Be difficult for them to maintain their masquerade if they are, in some cases, hiding from their own family. Just, contemplating out loud. Interesting news. Very well, so you went downstairs. After that, I believe at some point the Tremere forces arrived to respond to the threat, and at that point there was more than one werewolf there. Is that correct?
Yes, there were a total of four of them, including my son.
That is counting the one that got destroyed, yes?
Yes.
They seem experienced, old, confident. Or did they seem more like raw
Confident,
recruits?
yes. Confident, yes, but I don't think they didn't seem very experienced.
Well, certainly very interesting. Of no immediate use, but another useful piece of information all the same. Thank you for coming. That will be. You may go.
What was her name again?
She told you to call her Miss Gabrielle. She didn't give you
Yeah.
a first name.
Thank you, Miss Gabriel, for taking your time with me.
Just nods, waves at you, already looking at her papers like, yeah, go.
I guess we'll be leaving then.
Sir just, as you're going through the doorway, stays behind, gives you like a 1 minute kind of gesture. closes the door behind you.
I'm not gonna listen in.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably more like 2 minutes, but she comes out and takes you home for more education.
Yay! Having a mentor for Sire.
And she says that, you know, you you did good. You didn't step out of place. You didn't treat her as an equal. You did good. You did it the way you were supposed to. Well done. Keep it up. Try not to screw up and make her look bad. Okay then. All of you are probably gonna spend a good month and a half to 2 months just training with your sires before you are gonna be gathered again. And this time, well, joys, oh joys. Well, we still have Keegan's thing to discuss. But Keegan, I believe, is essentially gonna get turned after living it up, right? And why don't we start with that, Keegan?
Oof.
So, why don't we go through your stat block and see what needs boosting. Also, yeah, Celerity Potence presence, 1 dot in each.
Alrighty.
I mean, yay, he survived talking to the prince as a fledgling.
Oof.
So, just decide what you wish to take in terms of attributes. I'll write these in.
We get 1-1 for
You
primary and
get
secondary.
you get 1 in physical and 1 in social. Yes, you essentially get the ones that are the difference between mortal stats and vampire stats.
Alright, I'll get strength and charisma.
Okay. In terms of abilities, you get 2 for your talents, 2 for your skills, and 1 for your knowledge.
Not exactly sure what to take. I was thinking about getting drive up to 4.
You wouldn't be able to, because these are essentially like starting free dots.
Oh.
He will teach you the basics of attracting attention to yourself, so you can take 1 dot of performance if you wish.
That
And
and maybe
he can teach you
melee?
the basics of etiquette as well, so you wish. Or melee. Someone can teach you. He can't, but someone could.
I think I'll go etiquette.
Okay. And in talents,
Okay,
well, probably Ruha hide their fledglings away less, I would say. So you can easily, just through osmosis, pick up a 2nd dot of streetwise.
what?
Like you can pick up a 2nd dot of streetwise. You'll pick up enough knowledge of where to go, how to get things, to get an idea of how to act on the street. Alternatively, you can boost your socials if you wish, or athletics, or alertness, or it's up to you really. But you know, streetwise is definitely an option if you want it.
Do I have to pick these now?
Yes, these are essentially your starting stats.
I'll go Yeah, I'll just do streetwise and athletics.
Okay. You are gonna be a 10th generation Bruja, by the way.
Be 8th gen.
Okay, and so 3 of those leftover freebies would go into generation. But I think if you want, you can buy 1 dot of clan status for having taken out a Nossi as a mortal before getting turned.
I'll do that.
And other than
And
that, I think you can buy a willpower to 6 if you wish.
yeah, I'll do that too.
Okay, so that's accounted for. There's a bit of political maneuvering where your sire takes you to Elysium, has a few talks with some other important people, and essentially letting them know. Like every time Nosferatu make any kind of noise about how you are a piece of shit, he makes noise about just how they're complete bitches for having lost to a mortal, apparently one of their more competent people, and is essentially, making them look like complete fucking wimps. Does this, social stare down, Yeah, you could say that, but then we'll say something that will be even meaner. Fuck you.
Badass.
And, yes. And, generally, I think this is what we're gonna do. Eventually, all of you, couple of months, are gonna get to meet. And I think we'll discuss how you've handled your mortal families or what's left of them. In the meantime, while those couple of months go by, come next session, because I want to play out you meeting as a group for the first time. So, you are gathered in one of the Elysiums. Your sires, of course, escort you, and essentially each of them have told you that you are gonna be meeting some people. Because the prince wants each new vampire to learn how to work well with others, essentially. And not just others of their own clan, but learn to be part of the community, because apparently she is upset that some people failed to cooperate effectively during the last attack by the really bad vampires. And you are all escorted to a room where you are allowed to talk among yourselves. So, let's do it this way. Let's have a roll off to see who arrives first, who arrives last, etc. Highest is arrives first.
So just luck roll?
Yeah.
Oof.
Oof.
Okay. So,
Max is super early.
Solomon, you are
Got it.
very much on time, and you're probably reading another book. Probably like Grimm's fairy tales, because there might be clues in there.
Yeah.
And you, Jackalor, and you, Demi, kind of arrive at the door at the same time.
I'll open the door for him.
Thank you, mister. I seem to be at a disadvantage. My name is Kirk Jacobs.
Isaac Broxson, pleasure to meet you. I just sort of, point my hand like, to go in.
Yeah, I'm entering. I was already entering as I said that.
Same.
There's a man already sitting in there, reading.
I'll approach him. Sorry to disturb your reading. Isaac Broxton, pleasure to meet you.
I close the book and look up at them. I'm Solomon Roberts, and I shake your hand if you. Offer.
I presume we were all told to meet here, right? I think you guys are the people we should be meeting. I should be meeting.
Jackalor, is Kirk saying anything? Because you might be muted.
Oh, sorry. I'll introduce myself as well. Kirk Jacobs.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I will also hold you a hand to shake.
Yeah. You seem to be having me at a disadvantage. I didn't hear your name.
Oh yeah, I'm. Sorry, I'm Solomon Roberts.
Well, good evening, Mr. Roberts. So, what are you reading?
I mean. Grimm's fairy tales.
Would I have read it? I wonder. I have academics.
You read it to your daughter, some of them,
Oh,
before you
yeah.
decided they were too violent.
I have 3 academics. I presume I would as well, right?
You're at least familiar with them being a thing, definitely. If you've probably read some of them at some point.
The class was a bit too violent for my taste, though.
It was an interesting read, yes.
Egan, you may enter whenever you're ready.
I just walk through the doors, see everyone, walk up. Evening.
I'll walk up first to this man. I believe you are another person who I should be meeting. Isaac Broxton, pleasure.
I just look him up and down a little bit, and then I shake his hand. Just call me Bill for now.
Very well.
I mean, no, your mom doesn't argue. If you give her a lip, and at some point you probably forgot yourself and raised your voice to her, you get the back of her hand. You probably got smacked at least once during those 2 months before you learned. It's just, smack, you go stumbling to the pavement, she just shakes her finger at you. Manners now.
Good evening, sir. My name is Kirk Jacobs. Holding out my hand.
I expect that when people like Venture and La Sombra meet Bruja, it's usually like this, where everyone's like, what is this fucking asshole doing? Why are you like this? I mean, either the prince or the sheriff or the central are probably just watching through a hidden camera like, yes, I knew it would be like this, just let them work through this, they can still learn, they're young.
I put down my hand since he's not answering. So, I'm guessing you've come here for a reason.
Has anyone been told what our objective is, or what we're doing?
I was supposed to meet some new people. which is why I'm presuming it's all of you.
Yes.
I mean, do we know how many people we're supposed to meet?
Were we told?
I
Out
don't
of
think
character?
so.
Alright, you were distracted by a Malkavian on the way here. He was making dead baby jokes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Isn't that a frenzy roll or something?
I mean, probably that's... You just had to have a moment silently in a side room alone before you could go out again.
There was a lot of hissing and fucking my guy Sire hitting him. No! No!
I mean, honestly, at that point, if you try to re-at the Malkavian, you're just restrained by shadow tentacles again. And she's just calmly talking to you while you're re-at her. Now, we talked about this. This is Elysium, remember? I told you about this.
Just pointing at him and hissing.
Turns back to her. I'm so sorry. He's usually better behaved like this. Come now, behave yourself.
Smack.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna develop incline fortitude.
But yeah, eventually you arrive at the door, mildly upset. But, I mean, you don't necessarily it's just that, you know, it's kind of still hitting where it hurts.
That's why I'm learning aspects, so I can fuck those Nazis. Make them pay.
But yeah, you're at the door. It sounds like there's faint conversation from within.
Is my sire still in the building?
Oh fuck yes, she's in the common
She's
room,
like going
along
to
with
the-
all the other sires. They're just all like sitting there waiting for you to, you know.
Just look at them, look at the window.
It's like a play date, and they're waiting to see which kid tries to use the truck to beat the other kids to death with it.
Fuck, I really want to run, but I know better she'll hit me again. I'm gonna grab the door. I'm just gonna like. I think my guy would just kind of like fling it open because
Hey.
he's still a little bit peeved from fucking earlier.
Yes, Keegan. Yes, you do. If you wish, you can put that into something like occult or politics or law, whatever.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. I don't think we assigned points from that flaw to you, Demi, but we would need to recount, but I think you should honestly take that. So where would you spend 2 more freebies?
I was actually thinking, since kind of how I behaved and things, I was considering maybe upping courage.
Sure, why not? And you can also take Devil PowerPoint from.
Yep.
Okay. Then the door slams open, and what looks like. Well, he looks about as thuggish as Bill, I would say. And he's wearing a suit.
I mean, it's something, right?
I'll
Good
steadily,
evening, gentlemen.
steadily
Evening.
approach him, a bit shocked. Put hand out. Isaac rocks in pleasure.
A pleasure, Alexander Spencer. Take his hand and give it the old squeezeroo. I'm like,
How
it's
hard?
nice to meet you, but know your place.
Yeah.
Wait, do I know Demi beforehand because he's also a Lasombra?
No, you haven't met your La Sombra buddies.
Oh, Mom's kept me in the fucking basement again. God damn it, Mom.
after saying, my welcome, I'm going to close the door behind him.
Oh yes, I should shut that.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I'm picturing all of our stars, but like with the door shutting, thumbs up, like, yeah, they're doing it.
I mean, at that point, they're just like. The prince looks around the table. Sires hold up their thumbs. Thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. Panels open. The nozzles become visible.
Oh, there's
That's
5 of us now. Should we, before, fully speaking, should we still wait 5-10 minutes to see if anybody else arrives?
Well, first things first, I'd like to introduce myself to you, Mr. Spencer. I'm Kirk Jacobs.
Ah, yes, I would also shake and squeeze his hand as well.
I'm not offering you my hand this time.
Oof.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on, what, Jackler?
I'm not offering you my hand.
Oh, I will. Oh.
Power play right there.
Are you gonna just outright refuse to shake my hand?
Oof.
I mean, unless you put it up first, I'm not putting it up first.
Well, no, what Ally said was he was going up to shake your hand. He was going to put his hand forward. You were just saying hi from across the room.
That way. No, I won't shake it this time.
Hmm.
Not used from
Okay,
me.
I mean, I will shake it and say, "Good evening, Mr. Spencer. I'm Solomon Roberts."
I, for some reason, can't fucking hear half you people. What the fuck?
Rip.
You
Yeah.
sure?
Hold on, let me. Alright, this should work now.
Yes. Kean, you remember where you remember Kirk from? He was your defense attorney.
That's where I remember the sleazeball. I'm just gonna take out a smoke and just start plowing it back quickly.
It has no effect on you anymore. It has to be in the blood of whoever you're drinking.
I understand that. It doesn't mean I don't still have reactions.
Okay. Yeah. He just casually flicks out cigarette, lights it, and starts dragging on it heavily.
I want to see everybody roll courage, in all honesty.
Everyone kind of
no one's done
flinches,
anything.
but they don't need to roll courage. It's just like, oh. Just momentary surprise. Fucking madman right there, playing with fire.
I haven't shook his hand yet, though.
Ooh, let's see how this goes.
Come here, you fucking thug.
You're the thug.
Shake
So-
my hand, Keegan.
I shake his hand. When he grips, I'm gonna grip harder.
Okay? Make a contested strength
Yes.
roll, both of you.
Does Potence act as just a dice for this, or?
Yes, just the
If you
dice
don't
unless
use
it's
it.
activated.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Right.
I've said I want to squeeze people, so I figured I would have it on, wouldn't I?
That is up to you if you wish. Okay, everyone, roll 1d10 plus 5. That's gonna be your blood pool at the time of this meeting.
1d10 plus so one. Shit.
So I'm full.
Yeah.
Oh no, Naxi.
Well, it's
Oh,
plus
yeah,
5,
it's
so
12.
you're none of you are gonna be hungry. It's just how much you have to work with as a reserve. So it's up to you, allied. You can activate it, and that will count as one automatic success. Then,
Oh, yeah, no, I was going to.
okay.
Squeezing everybody's hands. I don't want to be here. I don't know you people. So Keegan,
So
you
it's-
want to do the roll off then?
Yep.
All right, roll first.
Okay, it's strength, brawl plus potence. Okay. I'm not gonna spend blood.
Okay.
Oh
Oof.
shit!
Oof.
I
That's your
win. Then.
specialty.
Oh. Defender wins.
Just strength,
I have
not
pulse
strength roll.
activated.
Ah,
Because
What
you're
do you
not
say,
using
Draco?
any. You're not using any moves. It's just a raw strength thing. So it's just strength.
Ah.
No, I think we just started beating each other up because we just both wrote this. I think
No,
it would go ahead.
allied. No, you're gonna get sprayed with something flammable.
I do have the smoke still in my mouth.
If you start burning, I will go lethal on you.
Please
Okay,
reroll
I'll
just
get a
straight up
motherfucker
strength
here
roll
now.
ratings. Just strength
What?
ratings without the brawl, please.
Okay. Potence count?
It helps because it adds to your strength rating, but yours wasn't active. His was.
It's a
And since it's activated,
But-
it's just an auto success. It doesn't add to the pool.
Well, I mean, I'm not using. I'm just. it
Yes,
just adds to
yours
the pool of
is
the alcohol.
just
Just
added
roll
to the
already.
pool. Yes, for fuck's sake, as if you don't know how potence works.
oh well, shit. I would have botched that if I hadn't had this
Yeah.
on.
So,
Oof.
you squeeze and you just feel your hand slowly giving way a little. Fucker ain't a bitch.
You're a good man. You got a good handshake.
I just nod. So wait, does this mean his intimidation doesn't work against me because I beat him in strength prowess?
I wasn't intimidating people.
You are a bruiser. So
That's what I
people who have who have not demonstrated some kind of physical superiority against you yet are just instinctively intimidated by you. It's easier for you to intimidate them. But that
So he's not.
yeah, that he just essentially beat you in that contest, so he knows you're not that tough. You just look tough.
Oof.
Someone's gonna knock on the door at this point.
I was closest to the door. I'm gonna open it.
Oh shit! I think I'm in trouble.
We're probably still staring at each other, lightning between our eyes.
There's a vampire there who was. You saw him in the common room when you came in with your sires. There's like a couple of ghouls behind him. Gentlemen! I expect you're wondering why you've been gathered here.
No.
Yes, please enter.
He comes in along with the ghouls. So, I hope you're getting along well. The prince wishes to encourage people from different clans and within clans themselves as well to work together. To that end, you're gonna be getting tasks, and it will be your job to try and work as a team in resolving them. Given that we believe you will be more effective working together than on your own. If you do well, you will be rewarded once again as a group. Do badly and those rewards will pass you by and you have to claw your way up the ladder in the old-fashioned way, on your own. I trust that that is pretty clear. Both in terms of the reasoning and the motivation for why you should go along with.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Now, I understand that a great many of you are of the Lasombra clan, and I understand that your clan teaches a certain practical mindset. And the prince doesn't mind that as long as it's not to the detriment of the city. But, as the last attack showed, teamwork and effective cooperation is a necessary weapon in our arsenal against the Sabbat. So you are expected to learn how to work together out of that same practicality that your clan values.
So in essence, a single stick can easily break, but multiple of them do not.
Yes, you form a mighty faggot together. I'm so glad you understand that.
I just tried to just leave. I just tried to leave and then just like, no.
One of the ghouls steps in your way.
Just when it gets caught in fact, like, no.
We have
Besides-
several easy enough tasks in mind for you. I believe one of you has already handled a moderately serious situation together with their sire in regards to hunters.
Oh yeah.
Usually we will not be sending you on things that are quite as dangerous, at least until you've proven yourselves. But there are several things in mind that could be assigned to you, and well, we'll essentially see how well you. For now though, we're gonna give you 2 or 3 nights just to get to know each other and establish a pecking order if you wish, figure out how you're gonna work as a team, and just otherwise get to know each other because we're all one happy Camarilla family here, aren't we?
Can I roll to see through his Jewish tricks?
No, you can't.
Oh, he's being sincere, the poor bastard. He's been dominated.
Most of your interaction with the higher-ups will be through me, since I'm the one that handles most day-to-day workings for the prince that don't directly relate to major issues with the security of the city. So, I suppose any questions?
Did we get his name yet?
Nope, I don't think so.
What's your name?
You could call me Werner.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that, Draco?
Werner.
Burner.
Spell it out.
He's in the list. In the journal. So.
Werner.
Oh, Warner. Okay.
Is there an easy way to contact you?
Well, I suppose. Generally speaking, I would expect you to not run into emergencies, so you should be able to report back to Elysium in a reasonable time frame and just find me here, but sure. Why not? I'll give you my number.
Thank you.
If there is something that is exploding, you should be calling the sheriff directly instead. I'm gonna be coordinating more than just your little team of fledglings. There's gonna be at least 3 or 4 other coteries like this, so I'd rather you learn how to resolve things on your own, provided you're not, fucking everything.
Of course.
And by that I mean, well, I don't want to single anyone out, but his eyes just drift between the three La Sombra. Play nice with him.
I know.
I just smile at him with my fangs.
Jeez.
I take my
Okay.
glasses off and clean them.
He just says, okay. See, I'm glad we had this conversation, because clearly we are starting off on the wrong page with the wrong expectations. And I'm sorry about that, I have not made my position adequately clear. There is gonna
Oh,
be
is he gonna
teamwork
call
and harmony in this city because the elders say there will be teamwork and fucking harmony. And you're gonna play nice with each other and you're gonna be the best of friends because we fucking said so. You are like family now. So please be like family. And he is gonna use the haunting on you.
Oh no, why?
Oh yeah, baby.
Every fucking campaign!
You should have shown me Franks.
So what is your perception plus self-control allied?
Perception plus self-control. Oh no.
See, allied, this is what happens when you sass the seneschal.
Difficulty?
No. Your perception plus self-control sets his difficulty.
Oh, so 6. Oh, I thought. God damn it.
Okay, so for the rest of the night, you're essentially gonna be hearing things like the Teletubbies song and other things about friendship constantly. Friendship is magic!
my guy's like, I've dealt with worse shit in the war.
I understand perfectly, Mr. Werner. Thank you for taking your time with us.
We will
Yes.
bring the needed results for the city and establish a harmonic relationship between us. Thank you once again, Bella.
Yes, do well, and you might actually get access to something like a group domain among you.
Oh, he's making us live together. Lovely.
Do you say that out loud?
My guy mutters it under his breath.
Okay, I see someone is not learning!
Sassy boy, jeez.
You're so fucked. Allied, so fucked.
We have our own houses. Why keep us live together?
Oof.
Look at
Yes, I'm making you live together. You're gonna be happy family. And now everyone in your coterie is dressed, to your side at least, as characters from your favorite family sitcom.
Everybody looks like that to me, right?
Yes, the people in your coterie. 3 successes lasts a week, by the way. Do you want to keep sassing the Malkavian Seneschal? Yeah, no, in that case. Yeah, they are your brothers now.
Who the fuck is Captain Sobel? Who's Winters?
My guy just immediately. Oh no! It's just
Just casually pulls out a notepad. Pretty sure he just wrote down, Alexander has an attitude problem.
recommend more flicking.
Well, gentlemen, I'll leave you to it. I expect to see you in Elysium 3 nights from now. I should have a task ready for you then. I'll leave you to get to know each other by now, and I'll have one of the ghouls bring in some blood mead to celebrate your new relationship.
Sweet.
Thank you, Mr. Werner.
My
Have a good
guy
night.
just like. My guy like almost open his mouth and he shuts it. He just stares like.
I just
So-
scratched my head under my helmet.
I'm just gonna close. When all of them leave, I'm gonna close the door. And
Someone is gonna
yes.
be back in like 2 minutes with like 5 bottles of blood mead.
That's okay. And while he's gone, I'm just gonna be turning to the group and standing up. Well, gentlemen, you've heard the man. To introduce myself a bit more properly, Isaac Broxon of Clan La Sombra. And I just sort of look, at one at each other. Let's start with Keegan. I just look at Keegan to see. William.
I just take a slow puff and then I say, just call me Bill for now. I'm Bruja, and it's a pleasure to meet you all.
And I just basically do the same with everybody. Just look at them, eyes front.
Okay, but who next?
You, Yaxi.
Solomon Roberts of Clan Tremere.
Jacklor.
Kirk Jacobs of Clan Lasombra.
And lastly, Allied.
Alexander Spencer, Clan Lasombra.
Excellent. Well, if we're going to be working together, it's for a missions and such. It's always a pleasure to know each other a bit more in depth. And seeing that we are seemingly all new, to further elaborate at least on myself, I used to be a small-time business owner when I
Listen,
before I was
you are not
famous.
small time in your own mind. You are about to make it big.
And then they took it from you.
Okay, not small time. I was a business owner. Okay. I was a business owner before I was embraced. And here I am now, with Clan Lasombra, ready to make a name for myself, and of course, bring the clan to more strength. Hopefully with you at my side as well. BJ, what about you? Well, not BJ, Bill. Bill, what about you?
I had my own little shop, was a mechanic. It was small business. Just mostly did repairs and stuff. That's about it.
You, Solomon? You seem like a learned man.
Yes, I was the owner of an antiquarian bookstore after I left college where I was teaching.
Interesting. Kirk, what may we know about you? Jack?
Sorry. I used to be a lawyer at the Griffith Brothers law firm before the embrace. Quite a successful one at that.
I'm just gonna scoff at this.
I say myself.
And lastly, Alexander.
I didn't hear what Keegan said.
I
He
said
said
I'm
he's
just
gonna
gonna.
stop.
You were
I
talking
know
over
you.
me.
I don't know if you know me though.
Yeah, he's just one of many cases.
He's the one that got me sent to prison.
Alright,
And,
you're just kind of distracted. You're kind of zoning out on the introductions because you keep hearing that song. It keeps warming into your mind.
And Alexander, you? Alexander,
What? Yes, what?
what may we know about you?
For, for combat infantry from Bosnia. Also, I do cleaner work and hits.
That wasn't so hard. I do hope that all of us have a fruitful relationship, seeing that we're basically being forced to work together. But
Demi, is your guy
nonetheless,
is your guy actually British or is he just acting posh?
No,
I don't know.
He's been taught like a posh, fake Oxford accent at a prep school.
It really is. I'm really conflicted right now because, as you know, I'm playing Benjamin in the Elder, so I'm really
Yeah,
trying.
no, that's what I'm like.
Whenever I try to be posh, I just end up being British. Shit. Now my fucking thought process got fucked.
I know. I just want to know because it's gonna determine how my guy like if you're putting on an act or if he's like literally that way.
No, just ignore me. It's probably a. Try imagining a posh
literally
American.
cannot, Demi. I literally cannot ignore you.
I know it's really hard. I'm trying to do a posh American, but every time I try, I just go back to British. Right.
I'm just gonna grab
Posh
one.
American is the main
beers.
thing I'm going for. Anyways, seeing that I don't even remember what the fuck I said lastly.
You said we're talking about some gay shit, like we're gonna be forced to work together and shit.
So I do hope we will have a fruitful relationship and we'll work together. So
I mean, we really don't have much of a choice in that capacity.
well, if we don't have a choice, well, the best thing we can do is make the best out of it, right?
Like, you are allowed to carry weapons in Elysium as long as they stay sheathed. But the prince's orders were, take the guns from them, because the prince is a
Shit.
fucking cynic. So you were searched for weapons.
Fuck my gun. I wanted to start taking it up. All right. Oh, I guess then, since we got who we are out of the way, let's find out who actually. Let's find out who people that matter. Then who our sires are, because we're so low on the totem pole.
Oh, I do believe our sires do actually know each other. My
Yes, but we
sire is
don't
Nicole Brown.
All right. The clerk. Turn to the others, I guess. You guys know who sired you, right?
Who did he ask?
Everyone
basically
asking
apparently.
all of us.
Oh, my sire is the sheriff, Carol Gorman.
Who's my sire again?
Wilfred. Or Wilburn. Sorry. Wilburn.
He's the regent, right?
Yeah, he is the regent. He's not the lowest generation, but he's the regent.
My sire is the regent.
I guess. Do any of us even know what like that position matters?
How much
Like, were
politics
we
do
given
you
Tremere
have?
teachings? I
Uh.
have. How much what?
How much politics do you
Politics.
have? Those who have at least
what's
one
a
dot, I'll
politic?
let you roll intelligence politics, but only those that actually have it.
What's a politic, Draco?
Uh-huh. That's all
Well,
the answer I needed.
Difficulty
How
6?
many did you say we needed? 2?
No, as long as you have any politics, you can try and roll.
Oof.
Means Solomon would definitely know, so he at least wouldn't need to roll. Keegan, you think it's something similar to a primogen? And it might just be like a different way of saying primogen, or some clans might prefer a different title for the position. You, Jackalor, would know that it isn't always the same as the primogen, but he's essentially the one that coordinates most of the Tremere. Or at least the
And
clan affairs for Tremere.
And like any good
Nice.
boy, I will then just ask, what does he do?
He's the one that tells the Tremere what they should be doing, and if I remember correctly.
Oh, he's their
Yeah.
clan leader.
Yes, effectively.
Yes, indeed.
Give me a
Good
second.
idea.
He's resp-
I will make the domain map visible to you.
Sweet.
Yay.
Wait, is my
Yay.
sire Primogen?
Yes. He's not the most respected of the Primogen, but he's definitely a Primogen.
Oof. So obviously I need to eat him.
You go.
Oof.
Like you can see, some of you are clearly in the danger zone. The people above the Elysiums are essentially the people who base themselves in that Elysium. In this case, it's the prince and the keeper for that Elysium. In the other cases, it's the keepers for those Elysiums.
Huh.
And you were based like right there, I think. Is that accurate, Demi?
I can't even see anymore. I was like, right on
That's
top of
where you
Elysium.
were. You were right on top of an Elysium.
Yeah.
But also in a semi-common area, so up for grabs.
I think I'm gonna have to move.
You probably would have been. I mean, none of the La Sombra sires, except maybe Jackalors, would let them stay in the same house. Because they're not idiots.
Except Jackalors. Oof.
But yes, you have either your old places or essentially safe houses. If you're La Sombra. Keegan probably has what remains of his normal life, other than usually hanging out with a lot of Bruja in the bad parts of town. And you and Axie are just generally staying at the Chantry.
Back.
Right. Yeah. But essentially, yeah, that's general idea. So, you're getting to know it. Is there anything in particular you want to do as a group? If not, we can say that you are essentially sharing information, so you as a group have an idea of what everyone has access to. Those things of your skills and backgrounds that you're willing to share, that is. And you can decide on your group convictions as well.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah,
no.
backgrounds. Oh.
Yay.
The fucking convictions.
These can help you avoid rolling for humanity.
Do I keep the Regent as a contact?
I think yes, but we'll think about it. Either the Regent or the Librarian. That contact dot is essentially gonna denote access to, like, the people that have all the fun ritual books.
Neat.
So, can we not have 10 on the actual list?
Yeah, I'm
No,
just
fuck.
thinking.
Yeah, no, 10 is just too meme.
Then don't put it
So,
on the fucking official list.
Discuss out loud.
I mean, I like
Obviously,
number 1.
not snitch.
Don't snitch.
Yeah, number one is
Unless-
good.
Essentially, I don't know. I feel like personally, like, should we maybe combo do not snitch with be honest to the rest of the group, or should we keep that individual? Just basically be honest.
They are
I
clearly
feel like
different
those are
things.
two different ones, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
clearly different.
Fair enough. Yeah, but I definitely vote for number 1.
Same.
Yeah, one's good.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
So
we really need
we have a
Unless we-
consensus on
and
one.
like humanity.
Yup.
Yes.
So consensus on the one, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. What about the rest?
I have to say 3. Because I will
agree.
say otherwise.
Ah,
I'm a hostage of my own creation.
that's
But
really hard
Ally-
for my own character to justify.
What? It's not okay? What? You fighting back is not okay?
Well,
Depends on
okay,
the
but
violence.
that-
I think violence
Ally,
of
that
defense means going over and beyond.
I think 4 could be a good middle ground where if people kind of push you to it, you can react that way, but short of that, you try to give them another way to fuck off.
Seems reasonable.
And it also
Yeah,
justifies
yes.
things like, reeing at a warehouse full of hunters without taking humanity loss.
Yeah, 4 is pretty decent.
Yeah, 4. I was gonna go for 4 as well.
Thoughts?
Sure, we can do 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Allied?
But allied, if you want 3, that means you can't attack people. Because it says only self-defense. You would have to roll otherwise. It's not
Yeah, if
self-defense.
you aggressively attack someone, that would be how that would work out.
So you don't want 3.
I like 9.
I like 9 too, especially what my character would. It's what my character would do.
I
Gotta
prefer
look good.
11.
Sure, 11's also fine.
They're kind of similar,
Mm,
though.
I-
They
That's the
are
thing.
similar, but they have a different spin to them. Allied, what do you think?
Eh.
You can also suggest ones that aren't on this list. This is just what we worked on, like, out during character creation as the potential shortlist. Alternatively, you can take till next week to come up with a list. It's just that, actually get together and do it, because
Yeah.
I know how that goes when it's like discuss among yourselves. No one ever bothers to talk to anyone.
But yeah, I think 11 is a good pick, honestly.
It's either
11?
9 or 11 for me.
Allied, you like 11?
What?
Do you like 11?
I said which ones I like.
So 1, 3, 5, and 10.
10's apparently not a real choice, so just 5.
I mean, it can be. There's even a possibility you might succeed at it, but it'll be a vastly different chronicle then.
Oof.
And probably
I mean,
one where not a lot of you will survive in the long run, but
I mean, survival of the fittest. We are mostly La Sombra anyway, so
You might make your sire commit seppuku from shame, Allied.
Not if I convert her.
No. Let me eat her.
Not if you diablerize her first.
Yeah, no, can't. I don't care.
Let's see. 11 is United Front, so that means we can't be infighting. 9 means maintain
Well, you
appearances.
can essentially you can't be infighting where others can see. You essentially keep your shit private. And when out among people, you work together. I would be the one that keeps you from infighting. Kind of.
Oh, who cares about honesty?
Apparently no one.
I mean, we have do not snitch. That's good enough, right?
I mean, we
Sure.
could take 5 if there's enough support.
You can also
I mean, it does
reward
help
it
us.
slightly.
How about we add whenever necessary at the end?
That I like that.
Well, if you're concerned about teamwork, then you could go with something like be a team player, but that would also imply that you work with the Camarillo when possible. Or you could, you can submit your own third option, you don't have to pick from the shortlist.
Life is hard.
Okay, so from what I understand, from what I'm hearing, you care about the group not backstabbing you and kind of being on the same page, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds
Could
reasonable.
be, yeah.
I mean, no one has like a loner nature, right? You could say something like, you know, you can essentially say to work as a group. And then if someone is actively going against the group, you can, you know, hit them over the head with this.
I mean, isn't that theoretically number 2?
I mean, kind of, but you can still essentially convince the group with this to do things that benefit you personally rather than the group as a whole, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're doing it as a group, it would fit that tenant. Okay, so essentially we want the third one to be something about teamwork, preferably, you know, loyalty to your own group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say something like, you know, coterie first, everything else second.
I was about to write that, yeah.
Or you can, you know, discuss over the week how you want to word it, provided you actually do it.
I mean, coterie first sounds fine to me.
Yeah, coterie first. I think that works too.
Or you could make it even more elaborate, like coterie first, Camarilla second, mortal family third. Set a hierarchy of priorities that you expect everyone in the group to follow.
Doesn't that, if we put it like that, doesn't that actually just legit cook Nyaxi?
It cugs Jackalor
Nyaxi?
most, but
Oh, yeah,
Jackalor
yeah.
could justify it with his personal conviction that actually, yeah, if those ever come into conflict, that's gonna be an interesting thing to discuss. But even if you just put it as coterie first, it's still gonna be interesting. Valernos does raise a good point. You could take the third conviction as fuck the Nazis.
They've done nothing wrong to me.
Yet.
Yeah,
Well,
sounds more like a
2
personal
out of
conviction.
5 of us.
Yeah.
Well,
I
3
do believe we're going
actually,
to die.
most likely.
Oh, right.
Well, he doesn't know yet in character.
It's fairies, obviously.
I mean, the Nosferatu might not be allergic to cold iron, but they're still allergic to lots of stabbing.
And fire.
And fire. Well, it's clear that the third one is problematic, which is it's a good thing that we're doing this. At the end of the session, I'm gonna give you the week and feel free to discuss among yourselves after the stream.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
try to arrive at something that everyone can be good with, even allied. And I don't think him just being silent in a corner pretending he doesn't care counts as consent.
Yeah.
So, you know, try to get on the same page. If you can. And I'm gonna end the stream here for the week, and we'll continue next week when they get to try and do some kind of tutorial quest, essentially. See you there, everyone. Say goodbye to the stream, the video.
Bye-bye.
Bye, stream.
Goodbye.
Later.
Goodbye.